Welcome to Behind the Scenes at ID8 Studios, the place where we explore the art of producing art. I'm Steve Sue with Crystal Baki and our lovely guest, Marissa Mizunaka. Did I get that right?
Mizunaka.
I busted it. Mizunaka. Because I for some reason, I thought it was Burr, but that was the previous name?
Maiden name, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mizunaka. Thanks for joining us, Marissa. Okay,
Hello.
so you're going to teach us a little bit on how to discover yourself through poetry because you're writing a book of poetry and essays?
Yeah. So what I always tell people, because this quote resonated with me so much, Flannery O'Connor, she said, "I write because I don't know what I think until I've read what I wrote." And that like resonated.
Wait, say that again?
I write because I don't know what I think until I've read what I wrote.
You got to tell me that one more time, and we're going to put subtitles on this.
I write because I don't know what I think until I've read what I wrote.
Wow.
Basically what that means is, and I totally resonate with this, is I really don't know what's going on in my brain until I've seen what I've written in poetry or in essays or in journaling. And that's why I write, because otherwise I have no idea what's going on.
I totally resonate with that. Yeah.
It's chaos. And so that's why poetry has been such an important art for me, and just like release. Because I'm a photographer, but like photography doesn't tell me how I feel. It's just like, oh, this is nice looking.
It organizes your gray matter. It kind of is, right? Because any form of writing is very strategic.
Yeah.
That's why people get writer's block. They don't know what they're thinking. So it's like, I'm not exactly sure where I'm at.
Right.
So you're using it to self-explore, discover.
So how
Yeah.
do you start that? Do you just start writing
Yeah.
what you think?
So that's what I'm here to give you some tips about.
Okay.
How to get past writer's block and start exploring the depths of your mind.
Okay.
I would say the first thing I tell any person or writer, well, the first thing I tell anyone who wants to write anything is that you are already a writer. Most people are like, oh, I'm not really a writer, but I'm like, you write texts, emails, Instagram captions. Those are all forms of writing. Even if you don't think it makes you a writer, you are writing. So everyone is capable of writing. Everyone is capable of poetry. Everyone is capable of it. We are all writers. That's the first exhortation I give you. You are already
Exhortation,
a writer.
that's a big word. What does that mean? Crystal? Crystal?
Encouragement.
Okay.
You
Exhortation.
are a writer, and so you can do it. That you are already qualified, and so that's not even really a tip. That's just like baseline. But the first thing that I will tell you is just start writing. Put the pen to the page and ask yourself a question if you need a prompt, like, how do I feel? Or what happened today? What good happened today? What bad happened today? Whatever you want to explore, and then just start writing. It doesn't matter if it's good. It doesn't matter if it sucks. Just the act of creating without expectation of it being good, releasing the need for it to make any sense or sound good or be ready for publishing, that is the first step to good writing.
First mark on the page, right? And do you know what droodle is?
No.
You make a squiggly
No.
line.
Oh, and then you draw
I see, I see.
something out of it.
that.
Yeah.
So if you just start, then
Right.
you can add to it.
Yeah.
And I would assume then that poetry is a short format, so you have
Yeah.
this ability to just kind of keep mashing it up. and
Yeah.
fixing it until it's like your brain is on the page.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you find your personality? Like, do you find like keywords and start there, and then you draw like this painting or picture or of the idea of like your character in writing? Like, do you start with keywords or like, you know, there's like some trees that they draw, and it's like here's the first word that comes to mind, and then it like branches out to
like
other,
a word cloud?
Right. Not a tree, a cloud.
A word cloud, yeah.
What is your question?
Like, is that a trick to getting closer to who you are as a writer?
So are you asking like, how do you find your voice as a writer?
Mm-hmm.
I see. I think in my very large experience of being alive for 25 years, in my experience, you find your voice simply by writing. And that's why, like, the first and most important thing is just to write. One thing that I like to do is, if you, like, say you journal consistently, you just start writing every day, every week, whatever it is. And then after a period of 6 months or a year, then you go and you look back on what you've written and you find keywords, phrases, and ideas that keep returning to you. And then you can use those to build off of and to even like merge into a single poem, single essay, single piece of work, or just build off of it. I think finding your voice is definitely a huge topic that can't be covered by 3 tips, but definitely I think how to start is just to write and see what comes out of you. And as you write more, the more that you'll develop, like, oh, I like this, not that. This resonates, that doesn't. This feels like me, that doesn't.
Is finding your voice more about style, or is it about your philosophy?
I think it could be both. There's like an aspect of stylization to poetry, but more so like what matters to you, what do you value, what drives you, and how can you communicate that to your audience.
Gotcha. So I wonder, like, if you were journaling in like a Google Doc and somebody had this app and it could with AI, it could actually help you find your voice and just write your poem for you.
Oh Lord.
It'd be so easy.
Let's not outsource our growth.
Let's not outsource art. Let's not automate art. Just a thought. I don't know. It'd be so much easier.
Yeah.
First mark on the page. I've got an
but
app for that.
I think the purpose of art is not to be like quick. The purpose of art
that's
is
the discovery part.
Yeah, the purpose of art is to show you who you really are, and to
plus you have to be able to torture yourself. That's all part of the process.
Yeah, or you couldn't call yourself a tortured artist, you know? You couldn't be depressed and write
You have to have some reason to do those substances. Rationalizing. Yes.
Did I give a tip yet?
You gave us like 554 tips.
I think I gave like tip number 1, and the rest was just talking.
So when you write a poem, is there a I mean, I get rhyme and what else alliteration, those kind of things all come into play?
I am not a poet in that way. I do something called free writing. That's how I start my poems. And it's that act of just writing without stopping and without editing and just seeing what happens. And then you end up with something that you can edit into a poem, or like sort of fashion into one. But after I write it, I don't change too much, just because I like the raw nature of whatever comes out.
Gotcha. And what is an essay?
An essay, it's like it's just like a short form piece of writing on a topic.
Okay.
But not a poem.
Yeah, it's not really a poem.
I mean, is the subject or the way it's presented different?
Yeah, so a poem would be more like line breaks, like syllabic 5. My common syllables I do is like 5, 6, 5, 4. So, you know, it's...
What does that mean?
Like, I went down to sleep.
Okay.
And I was
spelling
tired.
my feet.
Anyway.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So there's a rhyme in there.
So there's like line breaks,
okay.
and it flows a certain way. Essays is just like sentences. It's like you're writing in paragraphs.
I see.
Yeah.
So how does this all relate to music lyrics?
I don't know.
Because don't music lyrics, you're musical. You write, Crystal.
I don't write songs.
Are you rhyming and things like that in
sometimes
lyrics?
Yeah.
But not necessarily. But you're thinking about syllables too, right? Beats.
Yes. Yeah, like how it goes with the melody as well and stuff like that. But yeah.
You could be a songwriter soon, Marissa.
I will.
Yeah. write one with Crystal.
That's actually how I don't really write music or like songs, but when I do, it's like someone's playing and then I'm just singing whatever comes out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like how I write poems too, so.
That's good.
Is it easier to recite them and then write down what you say, or
No. No, it just has to come out of my hands.
Gotcha.
I have to if I say something, I'll have to record it or I'll never remember what I actually said.
Is there a difference in writing poetry from doing it with a pen and paper versus on the computer?
Not maybe. I feel like when I do it on the computer it's more polished, but
Yeah. Because it's more polished. Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking that if you do it by hand, you have the ability to just kind of feel it, you know. You're not like because when I know I'm on the computer, I'm like, I need an A, and I'm hunting for it with the wrong finger. And then it's like, what was I trying to say? I lost my train of
maybe
thought.
you just weren't raised with a computer.
Yeah, maybe. Huh?
I've been typing since I was like 5.
Wow.
I don't know
She's
if
been
that's
texting
true.
since she was 2.
Yeah. Had a phone since I was in the womb.
Yeah, yeah. She did poems by emoji.
That exists.
See?
And I
That's
don't
cool.
like it, but
Why?
you know.
Why not? Picture's worth 1,000 words. You get 1,000 times 5 syllables in one line. It's 5,000 words per line
That's
in a
true.
poem. Boom.
I'm just not good at it. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Do you see any trends in writing poetry or essays?
I would definitely not be an expert in that, but I see there's a lot of like simple short poems that I see because it's like easy to communicate something and just like post on Instagram, like all like 4 lines and stuff. Rupi Kaur definitely
Oh, I
has
love
influenced
her.
poetry a lot in the last 5 years.
Why do you love her?
She's like to the point and just like sweet and simple
Yeah.
and deep at the same time. It's
Right.
like I have like all of her books.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
she's
read all
great.
of her books.
And are her books like short or long?
They're fairly short. Like you can
Short.
read
I like
through
that.
them.
Do
Maybe
they have
Like there's like
pictures?
4. Yes, beautiful drawings.
Yeah, she
simple
draws with
drawings.
it.
Yeah.
I'll put some pictures in mine
Please.
so you can read it.
And so how are you going to get your book out to the world?
I'm gonna self-publish on Amazon or something.
Yeah, just-in-time publishing. You want to explain to those guys, because it's such a great way to put a book out. You don't have to find the publisher. You just put it on Amazon. So how does that even work?
I don't know. I haven't done it yet.
Okay, so I've done it. I can tell you how it works.
Okay.
You make your manuscript PDF. You make a book jacket PDF. You upload it, zero cost, and you get 60% of the revenue. And they
Beautiful.
only print a book when it's ordered. Generally, they will print
Nice.
some. They
I
don't
didn't
have to
even
do
know
like
they
10,000.
printed. That's so
Oh
cool.
yeah, they do color. They do color covers, glossy. You get a
I was
Christian
gonna
glossy or not?
I was gonna do an ebook and then like a limited run of copies, printed copies.
Well, you can do that, yeah, on Amazon. But you
Yeah.
know what? It's like cool because if you have the ebook, and that's the printed version, the coffee table version, which is very appropriate for poems and
Yeah.
essays, you can give that away for Christmas, and you just saved yourself all the money that you didn't make as an artist.
Beautiful. Well, fortunately, I make my money elsewhere.
Yeah.
This is just my passion project.
All right. Well,
That's why the running title of the book is "This Will Not Be a Commercial Success."
that's poetic,
Uh,
right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Marissa Mizunaka, thank you for joining us. Where can they find out about you and your book?
You can go to my Instagram,
Yeah, which is handle.
mar.mizunaka, or visit my website, marmizunaka.com, which is more my photography, but you know.
And thanks for joining us. If you want to learn more about this episode or other shows on this podcast, please go to ID8studios.org.